I'm Sherilyn. I'm 40 this year. I'm actually in the beauty business.
Hi, I'm Bryce. I'm 31 years old this year. I've been working for over 5 years. Currently, I'm in the publishing industry as a content editor.
Alright, first we have Bryce.
My retirement goal will be to retire by the age of 65. I definitely hope to travel in my retirement years, but only if my health allows for it. For retirement, I think for the current situation, we would need about 5,000. In the future, after inflation, I'm not very sure how much exactly we would need.
He understands inflation. So inflation is a very important aspect to think about when it comes to your retirement.
So right now it's probably a bit hard to say whether 5,000 is good enough. That's why in order to beat inflation, it is important to plan. It is important to grow your money at a rate that is above inflation.
Right now, my current financial priorities would be saving up for the house, renovations, as well as the wedding. So I would most likely take a HDB loan, the 30-year loan, and I will definitely be just paying it through CPF.
I think he's gone for a HDB flat, and by the time he would be about 62. So this is very good because one of the main things about retirement is that you should have a fully paid house.
So I'm roughly putting in about 20% of my savings into ETFs, but I'm also saving about 33% in liquid finances. Other than ETFs and my cash savings, I do have a few unit trusts as well. For those, I use cash and not CPF.
Definitely investing 20% of your income is a very good step for someone at his age. But at the same time, he must be willing to stomach the losses that would happen in the near term.
More liquid investments rather than locking it up in a savings plans. So is there anything I can do more that can help me towards my retirement goals?
He needs to find something that yields him a better return than a 2%, 2.5%, or up to even 5%.
So indeed, the more liquid instruments would be investing in markets. So that would be stock shares or funds that buy stocks and bonds. But I would also caution that we should not regard investments as sort of guaranteed, and that's why your time horizon is still very important.
Personally, I have a liquid stash and I also have an illiquid stash, which is a large chunk of it is in my CPF, because I know that 30 years down the road, it's going to be worth 3 times more than what it is today. So it's better for you if you actually just save it up and put it in some place that you can't touch for 30 years, and ultimately is yielding you a very good risk-free return rate of maybe 4 to 5%. All right, now on to Sherilyn.
I'm Sherilyn. I'm 40 this year. I have 2 kids. They are 16 and 12.
She looks quite young. Doesn't look like a mother of 2, but probably will cut that out.
I'm actually in the beauty business. My retirement goals are, I wish I can leave the rat race at the age of 55. I wouldn't say that I'm going to stop working. Probably have engaged someone to run the business for me and I just take the advisory role. I'm actually very simple. I just wish that I can travel overseas once a year. Considering the inflation, right, I think I will probably need about 5,000 per month. If medical bills or annual health check can be covered under some insurance or policy, then I think that 4,000 a month would be enough.
So indeed, for retirement, we always say that there are 3 must-haves for retirement. One is a regular stream of income to fund your living expenses. The second is a good medical expense insurance to cover hospitalization costs and chronic illness costs. And the third is actually a fully paid house and you don't have to worry about rent.
I think she's quoted 2 numbers, $4,000 and $5,000. I believe that you should always add a very huge buffer to that, again because of inflation and unforeseen circumstances that she may have to go through in her 20 years before retirement age. I would think add another 20% to that, maybe try to aim for $6,000 in your retirement years, and let's say CPF Life covers $2,000, then you need to supplement it by $4,000 of your own passive investments or your rental income or your dividend income, things like that.
Last year, finally I get a chance to start my own beauty salon, which is Sherilyn & Co. I wouldn't say that on a personal side I could save any actually at the moment, because whatever I earn, right, I reinvest back into the business because I want the business to grow so that long term I get to enjoy the benefit.
It's a very classic SME approach right there.
The business is everything. They want to plow everything back into the business.
So it's important for her to understand that you must also protect yourself as a person who is running the business, and you have your own mouths to feed at home. So she should also have a rainy day fund set aside for herself.
For entrepreneurs, we recommend even a higher level of emergency fund, maybe about 9 or 12 months.
Maybe 1/3 of the household income actually goes to children expenses. My kids are O-levels and the PSLE. So this year, the tuition fees are a bit higher. So I need to buffer and cover for that. They also attend enrichment classes.
Sometimes we do have to restructure our expenses, so it might be a bit difficult for her to cut back on tuition. But for some of the other enrichment, perhaps she could consider, because these can be big expenses that move the needle.
My father-in-law actually stopped working, he retired. So my husband kind of have to support both his parents starting from early this year. So we are making some adjustment, but well, I think we should be able to we'll be back on track at about 20 to 25% saving.
Sandwich generation is a big problem that the whole Singapore is facing right now. Always understand where your cash flow is going, that's number one. Understand what's your income, understand what are your expenses, your allowance to your parents, and ultimately for your kids as well. Make sure that both sides, as best as possible, are insured, so you don't have to worry in the event of a hospitalization or accident you can't afford to pay. I think one quick thing to add here is 20 to 25% of savings in terms of your income is actually a pretty healthy number.
My business is more stable, right? I will look into more specific retirement plan. I'm actually thinking of learning how to do investment, things like trading of stocks, forex. I'm also thinking of relook into my financial portfolio, make sure that I have enough coverage for old age.
Oh, she's thinking of learning how to do investments. Trading of stocks and forex will have a lot of her time.
Now, trading and investments, they are not the same thing at all. In fact, trading, especially things like forex, which are highly leveraged, they are actually more speculation. To me, it's akin to gambling. A lot of it is about the promise of fast returns, and this is not what investment is about. You can get very, very badly burnt if you are into looking to the markets to give you that quick return.
I would think for her profile, it's better to invest in something like index ETF or index fund that basically tracks the market, so that over the long term, she's able to realize returns if the economy grows, and she wouldn't have too many sleepless nights about thinking whether the stock is going up or down, or forex even.
So right now, I'm also looking into unit trust investment that we can use CPF funds. There's also this CareShield plan, CPF Life. I have not really done much research, but it will be something that I will want to look into.
She needs to understand how the CPF works and what is the function of CareShield Life, what's the function of CPF Life, because they're actually quite different things.
I think the good thing about what she just mentioned is that she wants to invest using her CPF investment scheme, but at the same time, any investments will come with risks. Otherwise, you can take a very risk-free approach and just keep it in your CPF and let it grow over time.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 8. I'm actually a very driven person, so if I set my mind to do something, I will, in fact, by hook, by crook, achieve it.
That's great. I think having confidence in your own numbers, and I believe it's also because she's also a business owner, so she probably has a lot of spreadsheets at home when it comes to business finance and projection.
But that confidence must be grounded in a proper plan, otherwise it could be actually a fake sense of confidence, which would actually be dangerous.
My biggest challenges now is actually not knowing the market is going to be with me or against me. I need to cover my business costs. I need to also cover my children's expense. I would like to know, given now that, my current situation whereby my monies are all invested in my business and I'm not doing savings, would I still be able to achieve my retirement goal of having $5,000 cash on hand per month when I'm 60 maybe? But if I can't, then what can I do?
I think she has hit the nail on the head that it is the problem of not having savings. So she needs to restructure, she needs to probably be more focused on her business and stop looking at kind of speculative moves, if I gamble it big on be it this business or be it this market or be it this trade, that it will solve my problems. And so I'll encourage Sherilyn not to have this mystique of having that one solution, but actually to take a hard look at expenses, and you can achieve your retirement goals if you are disciplined and you work according to the plan that's worked out for you professionally.
And I would think one important point is to have buffer, because it's always better to plan, let's say, to retire by 55, and then you have that buffer of that 5 years before ultimately it reaches 60. It's a very Asian mindset, but I think it's a kiasu mindset that most people would have. That is how they retire earlier. Cool.